There are astronauts, and there are euphonauts.
Warning. The following material may not be suitable for all audiences. Please listen responsibly.
Welcome, everyone, to Euphanaut Radio 9 to 10 every Saturday night, broadcasting live at our top secret location here in Portland. I am your host, Jesse Randolph, and as always, thank you for tuning in tonight to a program that takes you on a truth journey outside the Matrix every single week. Euphanaut Radio, what do we do here? We report the latest happenings within ufology, paranormal, new science communities, examining these subjects with a high level of positive scrutiny together. So, with that being said, put the cell phone on vibrate. All my friends out there across the globe, Portland Metro, my friends enjoying this amazing, long-lasting summer. Open your minds while we present the taboo that most are afraid to discuss openly. So much going on this week, I wouldn't know where to start. If you miss our two shows during the week, we call them Euphanaut Light. They're all available for free at your leisure. Download them on iTunes. Look for Euphanaut. Go to euphonautradio.com. Support us. Watch our videos. We have a brand new YouTube channel that we're very excited about. It's a partnership with UFO TV. And I think we were 35, the most popular YouTube sites in the UK. We were ranked number 35 UFO TV, and that is exciting. We've got a brand new, our 9/11 special is up there, 45 minutes for you. The Leslie Kane interview is up there for you. Download them, go watch them, and enjoy them. I'm telling you, this is an amazing year for people who have been in the closet about their feelings regarding the extraterrestrial presence on this planet, the UFO phenomenon in general. Never before have we seen the mainstream starting to embrace this subject with clarity, with some sort of meeting of the minds without just dismissing it, looking at some of the evidence. We still have a ways to go, let me tell you. But tonight's show, I think, is going to open up a lot of eyes. A lot of eyes. Here's a mainstream fellow coming on this program tonight. Another top-tier type messenger. And you know I like to bring you the highest quality messengers possible. It's the only way to reach the masses, especially in the Pacific Northwest here, with such incredible, affluent thinkers. I have to bring you the quality messengers, people above average to genius level intelligence, for you to digest and even possibly consider some radical concepts. So tonight's show, for those of you who have not heard, the U.S. government this week apologized for horrible experiments performed in Guatemala by American doctors who infected hundreds of prisoners, soldiers, and mental patients with syphilis in the 1940s. The experiments were intended to test the use of penicillin. Absolutely disgusting. We've heard stories like this before. We've heard about past atrocities that our own government has performed on unknowing participants. Tuskegee ring a bell? And we are always shocked. We're shocked, right? Don't we have a moral standard that is higher than the rest of the world? Is it possible that our own government would deceive or possibly use its own citizens as lab rats? Interesting, isn't it? Makes you wonder. Well, when if the U.S. government had in their possession a being from another planet? Think about it for a second. An extraterrestrial being that was basically fair game for testing, for prodding, for probing, and was not held to any law or standard of treatment. Could this have happened? Perhaps it's still happening right now today. Project Aquarius. Does it ring a bell? If it doesn't, don't worry about it. You're going to hear plenty about it tonight. According to my guest, Project Aquarius was the U.S. government's alleged secret project to research extraterrestrial biological entities, sometimes referred to as EBs, and their presence on Earth. Much of the information on Aquarius in recent years has become known from the highly, and I will stress the word highly, controversial whistleblower, Dr. Dan Burisch. Burisch has claimed interactions with an extraterrestrial named J-ROD, sometimes referred to as the J-Rod, who was housed in a secret underground base at Area 51 referred to as S4. So it was a top secret location within Area 51. Our guest tonight has been investigating Dr. Dan Burisch and his claims regarding Project Aquarius, as well as Burisch's explanations to the following questions. Who are the extraterrestrials? Where did they come from? Why are they here? And Burisch's detailed accounts as to how J-Rod and the entities' crafts eventually ended up at S4. We are excited to throw some interesting concepts your way tonight by being joined tonight by Mr. Michael Schratt. Project Aquarius, possible alien beings being held against their will by the U.S. government, and of course, your phone calls tonight. When we come back, welcome to UFOnaut Radio on KPAM 860. We'll be right back.
9 to 10 every Saturday night. UFOnaut Radio with Jesse Randolph on KPAM 860.
Possible alien beings being held against their will by the U.S. government. Tested, prodded, probed. Doesn't sound all that far-fetched to me if you start reading the headlines of last week. You start reading about what's been done to our own citizens throughout history. Why not? Michael Schratt, our guest tonight, is a military aerospace historian. He's lectured across the country on the subject of mystery aircraft and classified propulsion systems buried deep within the military-industrial complex, which is what Eisenhower warned us against. Beware. Michael has developed a number of contacts who have had first-hand experience dealing with classified black programs. In fact, we're going to get into what is a black program. A lot of people think they know, including former U.S. Air Force pilots, retired naval personnel, and aerospace engineers who have maintained a top-secret Q Majestic clearance, or MAGIC clearance. A private pilot in his own right and military aerospace historian, he currently works as an aerospace draftsman / researcher near Tempe, Arizona. Michael, welcome to the program.
I'm here. Thank you very much.
Well, welcome to the program. We lost you there for a second, but you're here. We're so glad to have you with us. We have a lot to cover. I want to get right into it. Now,
absolutely.
I think the first way to try to dissect this, especially Project Aquarius, is that we need to educate the masses here a little bit on what a black program really consists of. So my first question is, what makes a normal military program a black program, Michael?
When we talk about black programs, we're basically talking about three different levels. We first have a black program. That's any program that has less than 5% congressional oversight. We have what's called a deep black program. Then we have what's called a USAP, or unacknowledged special access program.
Okay, fair enough. And how much of our budget, whether it's defense or whatnot, do you think is funneled into these black programs per year?
Very interesting. We had about $35 billion fiscal year 1988 procurement funding into the black budget. Now, I've heard unconfirmed reports that that number for 2010, when we're talking wave programs, very deep, unacknowledged special access programs, could be over $400 billion per year now.
Okay, that's amazing. So who are the people who work on the programs, and who are they held accountable to?
Very good. The U.S. Department of Naval Intelligence is running a significant majority of these programs. And this subject matter what we're going to be discussing tonight has essentially been removed from the military intelligence agencies and now has gone on to the defense contractors. That has definitely been the case for quite some time now.
So in essence, if I'm reading you right, the government is able to somehow sometimes hide some of its special stuff, some of their experiments and whatnot through the private corporation/contractors, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. The things that are going on at Lockheed Skunk Works in Palmdale, California, the things that Northrop is working on, the things that Boeing Phantom Works is working on, they have thousands of employees there. This has been going on for decades. We don't know what they're building. And if you factor in what Ben Rich said before he died in 1995, back in 1993, he said basically that we have things that could make George Lucas drool, and we have things in the Nevada desert that are 50 years beyond what you could possibly even dream of. If you've seen it on Star Wars, Star Trek, we've been there, done that, or decided it wasn't worth the effort.
The head of Lockheed Skunk Works. I wanted you to tell this gentleman's name
Yes,
and what his title
Ben
was.
Rich, he took over the Skunk Works back in 1975 from Kelly Johnson at Burbank, California.
And he is now deceased?
He is now deceased. He died in 95.
Okay, and then
He made a whole series of just bombshell statements before he passed away, and kind of leading us to read between the lines of what's actually going on within the black world.
Right. I mean, these are very powerful, mysterious people, and they're doing things in places, and we're going to get into Area 51 here, because here's a location that has really dropped off the radar of people's interest level. And it's amazing how the government's done a really good job of just letting that sort of exist, and then people lose interest in it. Basically, I think because they've done an amazing job, and this is what I want to ask you about. How can it be in 2010, okay, 2010 here, and we could count on two hands the amount of people who have come out of Area 51 and have talked about their experiences and what they've worked on? How can that be, Michael?
Probably count on one hand the amount of people who've come forward. It's been very low. It's been a minimalist approach. They have come forward, but I would agree it's a low number.
Well, can you explain to me why you think that is? I mean, you have a lot of private contacts who work with these major clearance levels. What do they have over them?
The level of security is very oppressive, and I do want to get into that. If you go to the Janet Terminal near McCarran International Airport in Las Vegas, you'll see this huge parking lot out there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's fenced in. You cannot get access to it, but you can come just outside of it. They allow you to get within like 16 feet of it. There's a sign stating that you can't get too close to this fence.
No, I understand
the
that.
The question is, if there's this non-existent base, what are all these cars doing here for?
Well, but we know that. Okay, so 2010, we already know that. We know that they're employing plenty of people. What I'm talking about is they have people who sweep the floors, obviously, who wash the dishes. You're telling me that someone from Inside Edition or one of these other magazine-type inquiring rags hasn't approached one of these characters and said, hey, I'll pay you $25,000, which is almost your salary for the year, if you give us some juice or something or try to pull something out of there.
Yes, I would love to hear something like that, but again, this is a no-nonsense facility, and hopefully what we'll be speaking about tonight is even more highly classified facility than Area 51.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Now at least we can draw upon what a black program is, and if you're following this new NBC series, The Event, you can understand, I think, Michael, you'll probably agree with me, that past presidents and current presidents don't even know or have access to what is going on in these black programs.
Absolutely. And Jesse, I want to throw this out there. Not sure if your listening audience is aware of this, but do you personally know what that reverse E stands for in the event logo?
No, sir.
Okay. It turns out that is a mathematical constant, and what that mathematical constant means is this is true, this is established.
are astronauts and there are euphonauts.
Warning. The following material may not be suitable for all audiences. Please listen responsibly.
Welcome, everyone, to UFOnaut Radio, 9 to 10, every Saturday night. Paranormal, new science communities, examining these subjects with a high level of positive scrutiny together. So, with that being said, put the cell phone on vibrate. All my friends out there across the globe, Portland Metro, my friends enjoying this amazing, long-lasting summer. Open your minds while we present the taboo that most are afraid to discuss openly. So much going on this week, I wouldn't know where to start. If you miss our 2 shows during the week, we call them UFOnaut Lite. They're all available for free at your leisure. Download them on iTunes. Look for UFOnaut. Go to ufonautradio.com. Support us. Broadcasting live at our top secret location here in Portland. I am your host, Jesse Randolph, and as always, thank you for tuning in tonight to a program that takes you on a truth journey outside the Matrix every single week. UFOnaut Radio, what do we do here? We report the latest happenings within ufology,